Hello there guys, MrYorkiesWorld here again. I've got a different flight for us today actually. We are going to be flying from New York, where we previously arrived at, all the way over to France. Paris to be exact, Charles de Gaulle. So that's Kilo Juliet Foxtrot Kilo, which is the JF Kennedy in New York. All the way to Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf, Charles de Gaulle in Paris. It's in the 777-200. We are setting things up right now in terms of the fuel. We are going to be taking 156,018 pounds of fuel. We're just configuring the aircraft, getting ready to actually depart. We're going to be departing from runway 13 left. So I am literally just putting all the information in. The actual heading of that runway is 135. If I can find it, there we go. And we're going to be basically flying at 330, however that will increase halfway through to 370, so we're just going to turn on all the traffic data, VORs, things like that, ready to set off. We're going to be getting out of here pretty quick today. I'm hoping that this particular flight is going to be, well, around 10 hours. Because I've no idea specifically how long it's supposed to take. I've got like mixed signals. Some people are saying it's around 10 hours. Some people are saying 8, 9. So I've no idea. I've just gone with the overall flight time that was calculated online. I used an online flight duration calculator. It says around 10 hours flight time at 330. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be 3,197 nautical miles. So yeah. There we go with the catering trucks getting ready to actually fill us up with nice, yummy food. Let's just open the doors so they can actually get in. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the previous video there. Obviously, we arrived in JFK all the way from London Gatwick. So that was another sort of long-haul flight. This is going to be similar to that one. And it's something which I want to do more of this. I really want to get into the process of actually doing these longer videos, these more detailed videos. Because although I do like to mess around and like be as varied as I can on this channel, I also like to be somewhat realistic. I do like to do certain flights that can be considered more realistic than others. You know, obviously with me previously saying in the last video, yes, that flight plan from Doncaster, Sheffield to Ibiza, it is a real flight plan, so I'm not sure where the guy who commented got that from, but it is a real flight plan. It just so happens that I'd modified it slightly, but I have actually been on an aircraft from Doncaster, Sheffield to Ibiza. But anyway, that's a different video. That's 2 videos ago, or 3 videos, I can't remember. So we are going to be setting 162 as the V2 speed. We'll RML nav and VNav there. And we are literally just going to put in the NavRad frequencies. So it's 109.35 and it's 086 is going to be the course. So, and that's going to be a runway 09 left that we're hoping. That could change, but let's just put the fix information in. So 50 and 100 and 150. Again, the standard distance that I set is 150 nautical miles away, and then I will usually begin my descent. I seem to do a lot of descending too quick, or too early, should I say, throughout the flight, and then I end up like being too low, or not doing a very acceptable descent. So we're just waiting now for the catering to finish, and then we'll get all the boarding started and things like that. But in the meantime, it's a lovely British Airways Boeing 777, should I say, 200. This is probably at the moment my favourite aircraft, and it will more than likely stay my favourite aircraft for quite a while. So anyways, what I'm going to do for you guys, I will catch up with you once everything is sorted and once we're ready to start the taxi. So yeah, see you in a little bit. Okay, so we're finally back again. We are ready. All the passengers are on, or they're about to get on. The catering's actually finished now. All the passengers are boarding the aircraft. We are currently setting everything up now. As you can see, everything's up there, and passengers are about to start boarding the aircraft. So I suppose the first thing we need to do is to set the aircraft up properly. So first of all, we've done the oxygen, flight instruments and everything like that. The only thing we haven't done is the altimeter, actually, so we need to do that now. So I'm going to get GSX up to the current active weather. Let's move that out of the way. 3012. So eventually it was 3012. There we go. So all that's left now is to open up the checklist, or put this checklist away, should I say. Put that one away. Bring up the next checklist, which is the before start. And we're just basically going to wait now until all the passengers are all nice and seated where they should be. I do apologise about some glitchy scenery. I've actually upgraded to P3D V3.4. We've got all the latest versions of the add-ons now, so everything should be fine. Again, I've noticed that the lighting issue with the PMDG aircraft, it still doesn't illuminate the runway after you've actually gone from a nighttime to another nighttime situation, or a daytime to nighttime. It doesn't light it up, which is a shame. But anyways, I will be right back with you guys once we are ready to start the taxi, or push and start, should I say, and then taxi. See you in a little bit. So here we are, we're back. We've just literally tested the TCAS, and we're closing all the doors now. Just waiting for the TCAS.
TCAS test pass.
TCAS test has been a pass. That is always a positive. So we can check flight deck door, MCP, takeoff speed, CDU pre-flight. Let's just start the hydraulics, or configure those, because they're not going to get anywhere without those. Right, well, the lights go off. There we go. Right, trim now. We need to be setting it to 2.75. Okay, let's give that a go. Right, okay, so 2. I always used to think this was 2.5 just there, but it's not. That's actually 3. 2.5, there we go. Perfect. 2.75? No. There we go. Perfect. Right, okay, so what do we need to do next? This is where my mind goes blank. Jetway's off, that's all good. There's nothing else to configure. Got the heaters on because it is quite cold outside. Yeah, so this is a stock airport, the KJFK. I've not actually got any add-on scenery for that, but it is just stock. We've got the lights in the background by FTX Global, or Orbix, I think it is, lights. Yeah. So everything's closed on that side. Let's just return. We do need to remove ground connections in just a second before we actually go ahead and set the pushback. There we go. Right, so let's just request pushback. Pushback and departure. There it is. Swear to God, I'm going blind sometimes. We're going to be going right, or nose left. No, nose right, whichever way, I have no idea. It's early in the morning, I really have not got time for knowing my directions at the moment. Right, okay, so there's the tug, or the push thing. It's not going to be tugging us anywhere at the moment. Got a bit of lighting going on. We've got the dome light on as well, which we'll switch off actually. There we go. Some nice lighting on the interior of the cockpit there. Ready for pushback, it's always a positive. Look at that. Gorgeous aircraft, absolutely gorgeous. Got the logo light on there. Locking the gear, so we're almost ready now. We've set the trim, taxi and takeoff briefing is also done, we can close that down. Okay, so we've got the before taxi now. Obviously we're not going to do anything with that until we've actually been pushed back. So yeah, this is actually a requested flight, believe it or not. This really is a requested flight. All the way from New York to Paris. So we're going to release the parking brake now. I can't even speak today. I really cannot speak. I really do apologise, guys. Right. Number 2 started. Let's just have a look and see whether or not we've got any good fuel flow for a start. There we go. And there we go. We'll set the flaps in just a second. So yeah, let me know what you guys think with regards to this particular flight. Obviously I do aim to do as many different videos as I can, make this channel actually a little bit more, well, varied. I don't want to keep doing the same things all the time, so anything I can do that will increase your satisfaction as a viewer, let me know. Obviously, I know what I like to do, but it's not always about what I like to do. I like to please you guys. If there's anything that you think I could be doing more, or anything I should be doing less, or anything I can do to actually improve the content that I'm putting out there, I would be open to that. I would actually very happily turn around and, you know, do that without a problem. I'll take on anybody's ideas. So set flaps to 5. Fuel flow to engine number 1 is confirmed. We've got that set through. We'll put the ATIS frequency in, even though I don't use ATIS. Use GSX, or ATIS to Sky next even. So many add-ons, guys. And we are basically going to be following that runway, or that taxiway in front, and the runway, which is going to be, we are going to be departing from, let me just check that, 13 left, is literally just a few meters away, so it's not too far for us to travel. So moving on to the checklist, we don't need anti-ice. The recall, we'll just quickly do a recall, and there's nothing there. Flight controls, so let's bring up the flight controls page, and we'll do a quick configuration, or a quick check. Left and right, ailerons, and also the elevators and the rudder and everything like that, just to make sure everything's working correctly, which it appears to be. You're looking to make sure that everything has got a fluid movement, and obviously it's going there all the way up and all the way down, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, etc., which it is. So that's all perfect. We can close that down, check that off. Ground equipment, well, that's not clear yet. We've currently got the tug and the marshal walking away there, so we can't turn the taxi lights on just yet. We might just blind them, so let's just wait for a few moments. The scenery, the night lighting, should I say, is quite good. It's FTX Global, the Orbix FTX Global night lighting. There is a bit of an issue when you get so far into the sky. At certain altitudes, it'll seem as though the lighting can only really be seen from like a 50 to 100 or whatever it is, or you know, so many mile radius around the aircraft, and it starts getting really patchy. Starts loading, and it really takes a bit of the immersion out of it, to be honest. I wish there was a fix for that, but I have messed around with the configuration file and I cannot find anything that actually fixes that. So unfortunately, it's not something which we can really do anything about. That tug is really getting on my nerves. Be good if you could just run up to it and get in it. It would be a hell of a lot quicker. I might just reset the position in a minute. In fact, no, it's okay. Is he going to move? Yeah, there he is. There he is. Right, it's finally moving. What's he doing? Okay, so now it's coming towards us, which is not what we expected. Okay, we're going to switch on the taxi and runway turn-offs, and bugger it. We're just gonna taxi down to that runway, get along with this flight, get this flight going ahead. The lights on the ground, like the taxiway lights, the runway lights, things like that, I could really do with them being a little bit less bright, and they do appear to be sort of like raised up off the ground, which is not really what I like to see, but it's something I've got to put up with for now, unfortunately. So I will catch up with you guys once we're at the threshold, or indeed once we've done the roll onto the runway, ready to take off from 13 left. Right, so here we are approaching, or we're actually on at the moment, runway 13 left. Hopefully this will be a routine takeoff. 162 is the V2 speed. Everything's set. Let's just turn on the landing lights, turn off the taxi lights. Strobes are already on.
On runway 13 left.
And RAAS just telling me there that we are on 13 left, which I already know. So let's just center ourselves reasonably, and 70% of engines, and toga. And again, toga, it's not working. There we go. Right, okay. So here we go. We are on the way up, or we will be in a moment. You will get to see the amazing scenery here. The lights on the ground, they're absolutely gorgeous. When we get there, it should be evening time in Paris. It's like sort of early morning at the moment. Here comes V1. And rotate. Whoa, flash of lightning in the background. We're going to be above that soon. Whoa, 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 whoa. A little bit to the right. There we go. Look at the lights. This is where the frame rate starts to drop. But look at those lights. I'll show you in a moment once I've got full control of the aircraft. Okay, so we need to be doing a turn to the left. I will engage the autopilot. There we go. Look at that. That is FTX Global Lights. And if you look into the distance there, you can see what I mean by it gets a little bit patchy and starts loading bits and pieces everywhere. It's a bit of a shame. But it does look gorgeous. I've got to admit, it looks absolutely fantastic. I love looking at the lights, you know, flying at night. The only thing that puts me off, again, is that one thing. That just the fact that it just does not want to actually show you more lights in the distance. And I have tried the fixes for that, by the way. There are numerous fixes which I've tried. But for some reason, it just doesn't want to work. Okay, so the initial altitude is going to be 300, or 30,000 feet, and then we're going to be climbing to 330 and then 370 as well. Ground equipment has already gone. I've no idea why that's happening. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to manually override this checklist. There we go. Nope. Okay. I'm going to have to manually override it at some point if it works. Override. Auto brake already RTO. It's already off. Set it to RTO and then off. There we go. Finally, right, we're sorted. So during this flight today, guys, we will essentially be making our way outbound, passing over the shoreline of Massachusetts, similar to the way that we actually came in last time. Look at all the loading there. You can see the loading, the textures. That's what ruins it for me. But anyways, yeah, we're going to be making our way across the shoreline of Massachusetts and then over an island called Nova Scotia, if that's the way that you pronounce it. We're then going to be going over the North Atlantic Ocean, obviously, passing over Ireland and London in the UK, and finally making our way into Paris, by which time it should be evening time over there. So we'll soon see how that one plays out. But anyways, guys, I'll leave you with some awesome views on the way there. So yeah. And almost 10 hours later, we are back again. Hope you enjoyed those little visuals there. That is actually from a YouTuber called Mr. Fly or something. Let me just have a look. His actual YouTube name is Mr. Slightly Fly, and he does royalty-free music. That is where I got my royalty-free music from, if you're wondering there, guys. As for where we are right now, well, at the moment, we are around 2,500 feet in the air. And we are very quickly approaching our destination. We are about to make a turn to the left over here. That will take us directly onto the correct path to be intercepting the ILS for runway 09 left. It's a heading of 086. The NavRad page has already been configured. We already did that at the beginning of the flight. We configured that to 109.35 at 086. We are on schedule. The visibility isn't very good here. We've got very limited visibility. It might be, there's another airport, don't know where that is. We might be looking at, in terms of visibility, look at the scenery though, I really love the scenery. In terms of visibility, we might be doing either an auto land, a full auto land. I might finally get round to doing that. Or, as always, I may end up taking over the autopilot and doing it myself, just purely and simply because I love doing a manual landing. I've got to admit, the scenery is lovely. It goes really well with that Active Skynext, Orbix, FTX Global. I mean, look at that. That is just gorgeous. It's absolutely fantastic. The clouds look fine. Little river down there, or lake. Well, it's a river. It's obviously a river. I've no idea where that is, or what it's for, or who designed it. A bit of bugging out with the textures there. That happens all the time. I've no idea why. The engine just doesn't want to show. There we are. Anyway, I think what I will do is I will just leave you with some more gorgeous views just before we hit the actual glide slope and before we intercept it, because that's coming on very, very soon, as you can see. I will then catch up with you once we are literally on the glide slope, configured for landing and ready to hit the ground after 10 hours. Okay guys, I hope you're ready for it. I really do hope you're ready for it, because this is where the stutter really does begin. We are currently fully established. There's the runway, runway 09 left, directly in front of us. If you can see, there's one on the right and there's one on the left. Obviously we're the left, we're going to be landing on the left hand side. That is our destination runway. Now, in terms of that runway, I cannot see very much, so I'm going to wait and see with the autopilot and just continue along the ILS there just to see whether or not visibility improves. Not that I've got great high hopes of that happening, because it more than likely won't, but this is what I mean by, a lot of people have, look at that scenery. A lot of people at the moment are actually messaging me saying, what's the secret? I've had this for a while, ever since I started this channel, what's the secret for the scenery, but there is no secret. All it is literally FTX Global, GSX, Active Skynext, things like that. That is about it, and maybe just one or two tweaks to the configuration file. Now, obviously, I'll be making a new video about my configuration file, because we are now on version 3.4. I finally got around to updating everything. I have given up a few FPS for more trees and more buildings and things like that, and more detail. So I'm hoping that actually has a positive effect on this video. I hope you can notice that. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. There's no end of different bugs and things like that are happening along the way. But apart from that, I think we're pretty much golden. We're pretty much okay. Making our way down now on the glide slope. Almost there. When we get to 1,000, I might just disengage. I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah. Here goes nothing. I am literally going to try now. Take off the autopilot. There we go. See whether or not I can still keep it within those diamonds. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Just need to be a little bit to the right at the moment. Altitude seems okay. 500 feet. The decision height on here is incorrect. I don't know whether that's... Well, I'm just going on what the charts say, but I might be reading them incorrectly. Knowing me, I probably will be. But we're looking okay. Managing with the pappies. The pappies look fine. 2 red, 2 yellow, or orange, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe not. But we're okay, we're getting there. 200 feet.
Plus 100.
And...
100. Decision height.
See what I mean by the decision height? But we are landing. And that is it, we are down. A little bit to the right of the runway there. I would like to stay in the centre line, but apart from that, we are down. We are down. Welcome to Charles de Gaulle, welcome to Paris. And I don't think we saw the Eiffel Tower anywhere, but I'm not sure where that is in sort of relative to this airport. I don't know where that is.
1,000 feet remaining.
And there's the RAAS again, telling me that we've got so many feet remaining of the runway, which I am aware of this, and I am in full control.
3,000 feet remaining.
And we're going to take this taxiway here, or this exit. I'm going to turn off the auto throttle because for some reason it's not allowing me to actually take control, but it will now. I've just turned it off completely. And here we are. So this is, again, this is just a standard airport. It's not payware. This is just standard what comes with the simulator. Stick that back on now. All is looking good. It's all perfect. It's not perfect, but landing lights off, taxi lights on, and there we go. They're not illuminating the ground. How did I know that was going to happen? Still a bug. I think it's PMDG. It needs to be fixed. It would be amazing to have that fixed completely. Put the flaps away. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this this video, guys. We're coming back into Charles de Gaulle now, all the way to Paris, all the way from New York, which is another one of the main flights that I was asked to do, that I want to do. The next one that I've got planned, believe it or not, is going to be not so much as long haul, but it is still going to be a long haul flight. I'm not going to give away too many details. The wing's bugging out again. Oh, there we are. Not going to give too many details away because I don't want to sort of spoil it for you guys, but it will be a treat. It is something which has been requested. It is something which is, again, based on a real world flight, and it is something which more than likely will pose quite the challenge, so look out for that. I'm going to taxi to the gate now because I've no idea where we're going, so I will be right back with you. Alright, so we finally made it. Unfortunately, actually taxiing into the gate and stopping and everything, I didn't actually record that. I completely forgot to actually click record. So, sorry about that. The jetway's bugging out. I forgot to set this airport so that the jetway wouldn't come out like that, because it's not... The jetway's not high enough for a 777, and this is not even a correct sized parking space. But anyway, we have cut off the engines. We've turned the TCAS off and everything else. The doors are, well, whatever they are. I'm not sure whether they're configured correctly. Beacon, nav lights can come off. Strobe lights can come off. Everything else can go off. In the meantime, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Look out for that new video that's going to be out. The next one. I'm not sure when it's going to be, but it will be very, very soon. Thanks very much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.